Hey, oh, yeah. Hey, fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. I'm in the yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas in the be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That was my niggas in the be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top. When we ballin', my nigga, we be fly as fuck. You know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit never changing. It's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talkin' shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves. Shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. Shalom Israel, where the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is Isupk Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood is a weapon. Sisterhood is a weapon. We have to come together, right? Under one banner. Under the home of the truth. We have to come together, right? And show examples of brotherhood and sisterhood. Right now, our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, they need us to stand with them. You see, what's going on in this earth, what's going on under this administration, is that they want to have these mass deportations. So they are going to be slick and conniving and deceiving. That is the problem. All these other nations, right? They fall up under our oppressor. And since they fall up under our oppressor, they're going to do things and carry out the orders, right? That's why they set up in our communities. That's why everybody we get anything from, it's not us, right? They have ICE out there coming and snatching our brothers and sisters up at their court hearings. That's how you know your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because he doesn't have no compassion or empathy. They will rip your child out of your arms, put you in a wagon, put them, your children, in another wagon, and separate y'all to where you're not going to even be able to find each other. These young kids ain't going to have memories of their parents. And they're going to be snatched away and placed in these camps and these holding places for years and years and years, right? So we have to understand that for us to come up out of these kind of conditions, we have to absolutely separate ourselves from our oppressor. We have to come together. When we can come together, that's when everything be better, when we gather together. And right now, your brothers and your sisters need you to gather with them, because oppression is real. You see, everybody comes here for the American dream, for freedom, but all they get is oppression and the American nightmare, because being around our oppressor is not safe for us, right? It's not safe for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because our oppressor destroys us on every level, in every facet. So we need brotherhood and we need sisterhood, because without it, we are just a lost people, a separated people. All right, let me get this. Zephaniah 2:1. Bear with me 1 second. So Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not desired. If you are a Hispanic on this earth, right here in America, you know you are not desired. You know there is a mob after you. Trump has his gang and they are after you. And since they are after you, what are they going to do? They're going to come and they're going to snatch you up any way that they can. You see, the trick is now is that they're going to give you a court date. Then when you get to that court date, the judge is going to deny you the right to stay in America, and it'll make you available for a faster extradition, right? So they're going to get you up out of here faster, but they're going to give you a court date knowing what they're going to do, right? Let me get this real quick. Hold on, let me get this. Bear with me 1 second. Let me find it. You're gonna know something about your oppressor. This is what you have to know about your oppressor, right? He is such a filthy, disgusting monster, right? He is so vile and wicked that you have to watch out for him. You think that it's your friend. All right. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me bring the Bible up here. Bear with me 1 second. It's a lot. Yeah, we're going to get this. Damn, this is close. We're going to get this because there's something you have to understand. You have to understand this right here. All right, let me share my screen. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat from every tree of the garden? That's what you have to understand about your oppressor. Your oppressor is subtle. He is cunning. He is disgusting. Shabbat. He is a disgusting bastard. So he's going to use a lot of trickery. He's going to be very cunning. He's going to hide. He's going to hide. He'll throw those rocks and hide his hand. He is subtle. That's why he uses all of this trickery. He's tricking people to come to court. He said, come to court and do it the right way. So we go to court and we do it the right way and we turn in the proper paperwork and we get our day in court just to be denied. Just so he can strip you from your family, from your children, because they don't want you to have a happy home. You think they want you living good and happy? You see what happens when they leave us alone. They left us alone and we built Black Wall Street. And what did they do? They came and tear it down. Oh, they tore it all the way down. But your oppressor, he is more subtle than any beast of the field. He is very tricky. He is a hunter. And the hunters, all they want to do is unalive. That's what hunters do. They unalive. Okay? So now that we understand that, did I have one more that I wanted to bring? No, we'll move on. And we're going to get Deuteronomy 28 and 33. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. That's how we are under these nations. They come up into our people, and the fruit of our land and all of our labors, this nation, they eat it up. They eat up all your courage. They eat up all your tenacity. They eat up all your fight. They eat up all your might. They eat up all of your will. You don't even have a will to serve God. You don't even have the will to look the white man in his face and call him the devil that he is. You don't have the gall, the courage. That's what is taught in these walls. We are raising up men to be men. That's why you have to give men, you have to raise them up right. Give them time to grow. Because men can fall short and be weak. A man won't do his duty because of the lust of his flesh. A woman to stop you from doing your duties. A woman get to smiling and talking sweet, and then you forget all your duties that you need to do. You forget the man you're supposed to be. Your oppressor comes talking sweet to you, you forget your duty. You forget the man you are supposed to be. Well, these other nations that you don't know, they eat of your people. They eat the fruit of your land. They get the very best. You give them your best and give your people the worst, because all we are oppressed and crushed away. We're crushed away right now, today, in 2025. 2025, where y'all believe there is no racism, even though they show you every day that they hate you. They show you every day that they look at you and you're despicable. You built their kingdom. You nurse their children, and they want to put you out. They want to strip you from their children, and they're going to go have a feast day over it. Because they're going to say this is a great thing that we've done here in America. All right, verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou, Salaki, let me drop down to verse 43. Let me do this. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. You see, your oppressor, he is up very high against you. He is up so high that he could sit at the Oval Office and make a decree for mass deportation. And what do? You sit there and you stand at the Pledge of Allegiance and pledge your allegiance to a nation that hates you. You know that you are hated. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you are just so asleep that you can't see it. But we see. Here in Isupk, we see it for what it is. We know that this is not our friends. The Bible says, never trust thy enemy, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Your oppressor's wickedness, the way he compromises your whole nation, is because he doesn't have any love or empathy or sympathy for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That's what we are, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the tail. We are at the bottom. We are at the back. We are the low of the earth. We get looked at as disgusting and despicable when we are the greatest people on earth, when we have did the greatest things on earth, more than anybody else out there could have ever done. We have done. We have sacrificed our lives, our time, our families for our oppressor. He doesn't sacrifice a damn thing for you. What he does is make a bill for mass deportation to get you up out of here. That is the goal. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and do his statutes which he commanded thee. You see, the Lord gave us laws, statutes, and commandments, and we did not want to follow them. Just like today, Christianity tells you that the law is done away with. And since you believe the law is done away with, you believe you can do anything that you want. That's why we're destroyed, because we have forgotten the laws of our God. We'll drop down to verse 48. Therefore, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee. You see, that we are destroyed because that iron yoke is now a spiritual yoke. And with that being a spiritual yoke, we still serve our enemy in hunger and nakedness and in thirst. We have to beg them for our freedom. Our brothers and sisters are begging them for their freedom because they are trying to deport them at a mass rate. I'm going to drop to 50. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the old nor show favor to the young. They don't care if you're old, they don't care if you're young. They hate all of us. And while you're loving all of them, while you're just saying people are people, while you're saying all of these things, we are the ones being hated. We are the ones being tormented. We are the ones being destroyed. Because there's a nation of fierce countenance, a nation who don't play with you, a nation who doesn't have any love or care for you, a nation that has a perpetual hatred for you. All right, I'm gonna get into some of my topics that I brought out. Let's get this one. All right, it says hundreds protest Austin against nationwide ICE detention. A largely peaceful march in downtown Austin on Monday, condemning the uptick in immigrant detentions across the country, dispersed when law enforcement fired tear gas into a portion of the crowd that refused to leave. It says a largely peaceful protest. How does your oppressor deal with a peaceful protest? He fires tear gas into the crowd. He says, since y'all are peaceful, let me fire tear gas. If it gets any rougher, we'll fire rubber bullets and then real bullets. This is what they're doing to us. It says the protest organized by the Party for Socialism and Liberation Austin branch began outside the Capitol grounds around 7 p.m. Several hundred protesters commended raids conducted in recent weeks by U.S. immigrants, customs enforcement. The group guided the mile-long march and chants through downtown towards the Jake Pickle Federal Building before circling back to the Capitol. While organizers announced the end of their gathering just after 8 p.m., more than 100 protesters continued to march as the police told them to leave the streets. Some rerouted back to the federal building but were blocked by law enforcement, who eventually fired tear gas canisters into the crowd. Speakers during the protests and those who marched downtown Austin said ICE and law enforcement were operating without due process for people they have detained in raids. You see, they don't want to do the due process. The fact is you're going to go and do the due process to legally be in the country, but they're not going to do the due process to legally get you out of the country, right? Okay. It says some include Valerie Cruz, an Austin resident and first-generation America, came to share their solidarity with the undocumented immigrants they say have been villainized by law enforcement. You see, your oppressor is the villain. They want to make us out to be the villain and the gang members and the gangsters and the drug dealers and all that. Everything they make us out to be, they are times a million, right? So a protest in Dallas also occurred Monday evening, following two others on Sunday in San Antonio and Houston. All four were inspired by protests against ICE in Los Angeles over the weekend, which started a serious ICE immigration sweeps and arrests sparked outcry from locals, according to Cal Mathers. Yeah, let's look at some of this. Yeah. All right. State and federal authorities have escalated the presence in Los Angeles protests have continued, The Pentagon on Monday deployed 700 Marines to Los Angeles hours before protests gathered in Austin. You see, they're going to use the Marine. They're going to call in the National Guard and the Marine and all these people. They're going to call in their armies to harm you. Well, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I want you to know you have an army too. You are an army too. You should be an army of the Lord. And that army of the Lord is right here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. All right? We'll continue. State and federal State and federal authorities have escalated their presence in Los Angeles as protests have continued. The Pentagon on Monday deployed 700 Marines to Los Angeles hours before the protests gathered in Austin. The Marines, in addition to the 2,000 National Guard troops sent by the Trump administration to Los Angeles. So that's 2,700 people that he's sending to harm blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians because he knows who's there. He knows who's there standing up, right? California Governor Gavin Newsom called and deployed of law enforcement into Los Angeles unmistakably stepped towards authoritarianism. In a new release on Monday, Newsom is now suing the administration for the Guard's deployment. Austin Police Department and Texas Department of Public Safety officers gathered and at times surrounded protesters as they moved through downtown. At one point, DPS officers fell off their motorcycle while attempting to corral protesters. And shortly after, another officer shot pepper spray at the protester who was not near a fallen motorcycle. You have to understand this. When they get mad and enraged because you're not being a good slave, they're going to take drastic measures. Nobody was by no fallen motorcycle, but you don't have to be. He sees that motorcycle up there, you're getting sprayed right here. It says that protester who did not wish to be named was incapacitated after being sprayed in their face. Of course, you need treatment after that. Who's giving them treatment? Who has the bottles of water and the water hose and all this to get it out their face? Nobody. Right? According to one eyewitness, at least 2 people were detained, but APD and DPS did not immediately respond to the request for confirmation. It was also unclear whether anyone was injured during the tear gas. You don't think he was injured? Look at him right here. Let me see if that's what it's for. Oh, it is. So you don't think this is injured right here? Look how big that can is. Look at all that's going to them. Look at that sign. Ice will melt. Ooh-wee. All right, that's the end of that article. Let me get some scriptures real quick. Let me get this. Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. That's why the Bible says this. It says never. Hold on, so like. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Your enemy, if you ever take a piece of metal and it gets a little piece of rust, that rust is going to compromise all of the metal. That's what your oppressor does to us. He compromises all of us. If we let him keep going and keep growing and keep getting in our minds and keep telling us the holidays we should celebrate and keep telling us the laws that we should keep, well then his rest is going to compromise our whole nation. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching. You see, that's what they do. That's what they do to get your loyalty. They come crouching, right? They come humble. They say all of the things they're going to do when really they're going to do none of those. Really, the whole plan is to oppress you. It says, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be it to him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. You know, like when the glass is foggy and you wipe that fog away, you'll be able to see clearly, right? See, right now, our people, it's foggy. You know, they need to wipe that. They need to wipe that glass. Only way you're going to wipe that glass is get a renewal of mind, to become a new man, to come up in here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge and learn the truth and see where God is. If you can't do that, you're not going to ever be able to see their rest. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest thy seat, Slakia, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at last remember my words and be pricked there within. I'm going to continue. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such that come nigh to wild beasts? See, all right, so in East India, they play that flute, and they're charming a serpent. They're charming that snake, right? If that cobra comes up out of there and bites them, you're going to say he shouldn't be messing with them. Your oppressor is hunting all the time. If something happens to him out there on the hunt, you're going to say he shouldn't have been out there messing with them lions and them tigers and them bears. Oh, my. Let me drop the 16. Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. See, they go out there, they weep and they cry and they show all this fake stuff, and they are not satisfied with your blood. Your blood, they are not satisfied with. They love speaking those sweet words. Now we got Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they draw swords. That's what your oppressor draws swords with his words. They're so sweet, and you think they're so for you. And they're like, yeah, just come on down, man. All you got to do is just come to the courthouse, and we're going to give you your day in court. Those are smooth words that he's going to speak. And you're going to show up at that courthouse, and then he's going to draw a sword on you. That's what's going to happen. He's going to draw that sword and deport you out of the country. Send you to wherever he's going to send you. He ain't going to send you to your land. He's going to send you to where you came from. He's going to send you to where he wants. Okay? And that's why you shouldn't. And let me get that. Proverbs. Proverbs 3:31. Envy not thou oppressor, and choose none of his ways. That's what we have to do. We have to stop choosing their ways. We're choosing their ways and their philosophies and their systems, and it is oppressing us. We are helping them oppress us because we believe what they believe. Their customs are our customs. We have to turn away. We shouldn't envy them. We shouldn't want to be like them. We shouldn't want nothing to do with them. No dealings. One more, and then I'm going to get to some other articles. Colossians 2:8. This is what is happening to us. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. That's what we are following. We are following the rudiments of this world. We are not after Christ. We're not following Christ. We are following our oppressor. We're following who we believe is the top, right? That's what we're doing. We have to come back and we have to follow Christ. You think you're following Christ in that Christian church? You are not. You're not even being recognized. Let me get this one. Well, when LA come out, they come out. All right. This says the fallout continues days after protests against immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, have gripped the Los Angeles area, especially downtown LA. Hundreds of people gathered near the federal building on Monday for the fourth day of protests. Things remained mostly peaceful and calm throughout the day, and several stores were looted after nightfall. Authorities say some arrests were made. Meanwhile, the police declared unlawful assembly at another protest in Orange County. Roughly 200 people were seen protesting on Santa Ana Boulevard and Flower Street in front of the federal building Monday evening. Authorities said at least 10 people were arrested. The heated exchange between local, state, and federal politicians continued Tuesday. Authorities braced for a potential fifth day of straight protests. Anti-ICE protesters shut down the 101 freeway in downtown LA. Right? Anti-ICE protesters briefly took over the 101 freeway just before 4 p.m. Tuesday. Air 7 was over the scene, and California Highway Patrol officers formed a skirmish lines to get the protesters off the freeway. Officers were seen confronting protesters and pushing them back. Protesters began to throw objects at the officers as they fought back. About 5 to 10 minutes later, California Highway Patrol was able to move the protesters off the 101 freeway onto Aliso Street, which parallels the freeway. All right, Los Angeles ICE raids, know your rights and watch out for these immigration scams. Fear is growing in immigrant communities following the recent ICE raids across Southern California, and many are unsure about their rights or what to do if they are detained. The anxiety, distraught, fear, and sadness, it's really sad. And it's not just a person without the status, it's all of their families, their children, their spouses, said the immigration attorney Elisa Martinez. Martinez wants people to know that they have rights regardless of their immigration status, and it's crucial for people to understand that. LAPD officers are making arrests in downtown LA after dispersal order. The Los Angeles Police Department said via X that officers have begun making arrests in downtown area after announcing dispersal order. Officials asked people to avoid the Alameda area between Aliso Street and Temple Street. Officers are making arrests, LAPD wrote. Please do not interfere with lawful arrests. Traffic advisory, media advisory, avoid the area. It's telling you to avoid those areas, right? And they say they're making lawful arrests. I doubt that that's true. Trump rails against anarchy in LA in birthday speech to Army. While visiting Fort Bragg to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday, President Donald Trump spoke at length about his ongoing protests in Los Angeles and his administration's response, including the deployment of the National Guardsmen and Marines, despite objections from California Governor Gavin Newsom. So, despite them not needing it, Trump is going to send them because he wants to put that evil on you, right? He wants to send his evil and his curses upon you. Said Trump again claimed without evidence that paid insurrectionists and criminal invaders are seizing the city. Generations of Army heroes did not shed their blood on distant shores only to watch our country be destroyed by invasion of third world lawlessness here at home happening in California, Trump said. The lawlessness comes from this bastard. This is a lawless bastard who could be convicted. He got his fist up so damn proud when he's been convicted of all these felonies. Let's hear what this bastard says. As commander-in-chief, I will not let this happen. It is ongoing to happen. It's like it's never going to happen. What you are witnessing in California is a full-blown assault on peace and public order and national sovereignty carried out by rioters bearing foreign flags to aim continuing foreign invasion on our country. This is how you know the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because he's saying this is a full-blown assault on peace. You don't think you snatching innocent people who ain't doing a damn thing wrong? You don't think that's a full-blown assault on peace? You dumb bastard. Right? This is a devil. If you want to know what a devil looks like, what a devil thinks, you're looking right there. It says there are more U.S. troops in LA than Iraq, Syria. Good night. There are more troops, U.S. troops deployed in Los Angeles than in Iraq and Syria. There are 4,800 active Guard and Marine personnel in LA compared to the 2,500 troops in Iraq and the 1,500 in Syria. You see, because the real war is against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why. And they're going to come and they're going to hunt you down, right? A reporter from CNN has reported on the unrest in Los Angeles becoming part of the story for a brief time Monday night. Video shows the moment CNN national correspondent Jason Carell was escorted away from the scene of protest in downtown. This is a reporter. Can't even report. So it is unclear why he was taken away and detained. Carroll was eventually released, but two members of his camera crew was arrested. He was warned that if he went back to a particular scene, he would also be arrested. Newsom files emergency motion to stop Trump's illegal action. Governor Gavin Newsom has filed an emergency motion to block President Trump deployment of Marines and National Guardmen, saying President's actions were illegal and turning the U.S. military against the American citizens. That is his whole thing. He wants the military to be his personal bodyguard, and all of Trump's actions are illegal. That's his claim to fame. Doing everything that is illegal and disgusting and wicked. That's what he's about. It says the courts immediately blocked these legal actions, Newsom wrote on social media. So he wrote them and got blacked. Bass to meet with LAPD chief to discuss possibilities city curfews. Says during a news conference Tuesday morning, Mayor Karen Bass said the Los Angeles Police Department is setting up an ununified command to handle all Southern California police agencies to come and help secure downtown. She said there'll be. She said she'll be meeting with the LAPD chief Jim McDonald later in the day to discuss possibly implementing a curfew. Good night. They don't have. They always trying to do something for martial law. It's unclear if the decision will be made Tuesday. Pentagon says deploying Marines and National Guards to LA will cost 134 million. There's no price too great to oppress blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. There is no price too great to harm the children of the Most High. It's nothing too great. That's why it's going to cost them 134 million for just LA. It says the cost of deploying Marines and National Guard troops to LA is an estimated 134 million. The Pentagon said Tuesday morning. Brian McDonald, the special assistant to the Secretary of Defense who serves as the agency's comptroller, testified before the House of Appropriations, the subcommittee on defense, on the estimated cost, which is largely just temporary duty costs, travel, housing, food, etc., she explained. When asked by Representative Pete Aguilar, a Democrat of California, for details and where was the money coming from, McDonald said their own accounts. Sure. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth added that the deployment is expected to last 60 days. We stated very publicly that it's 60 days because we want to ensure that the rioters, lures, and thugs. You see, when you stand up for your people, you become a thug. Trump is so-called standing up for his people, and he is the president. But when you fight for your people, you are the thug. It said on other sides, assaulting our police officers, knowing we're not going anywhere, Hicks told members of the House Appropriations Defense Committee. President Trump on Monday authorized the deployment of an additional 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles, and in addition, the 700 Marines were sent amid the ongoing sparked by ICE raids and arrests in LA. Speaker Johnson says Newsom should be tarred and feathered. Because somebody doesn't want all this where they reside, they should be tarred and feathered, meaning killed, right? That's what that means. All right. It says House Speaker Mike Johnson would not weigh in on whether California Governor Gavin Newsom should be arrested. Suggestions made by Donald Trump, but said the governor shall be tarred and feathered. So he shouldn't be arrested. He should just be killed. They hate each other. Wait a minute, is the devil the Bible speaks of. Look, that's not my lane. I'm not going to give you legal analysts on whether Gavin Newsom should be arrested, but he ought to be tarred and feathered. I'll say that. Johnson said Tuesday weekly GOP news conference. He's standing in the way of the administration in carrying out federal laws. He is plotting the bad guy and standing in the way of the good guy. Do your job, man. That's what I tell Gavin Newsom, Johnson, Madden. Do your job, meaning stand with us. Do your job, meaning oppress blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Oppress these people. That's what they mean by do your job. After raids clash, arrests after raids clash in Orange County. At least 10 people were arrested after the protests against immigration raids in Orange County Monday turned chaotic to lead the police declare an unlawful assembly. Roughly 200 people were seen on Santa Ana Barbara and Flower Street protested in front of the federal building Monday evening. Protesters threw objects, rocks, bottles, fireworks at law enforcement. Officers used tear gas, rubber bullets in the crowd. Footage taken around 7 p.m. shows a loud crowd demonstrators running after tear gas was deployed. How long is this? I'm going to get up off of this. I've definitely got enough of that. Let me see. Let me get a little bit of this, We're going to get back into some scriptures and then I'll show a video. And then we're going to close it on out. In a new tactic, ICE is arresting migrants at immigration courts, attorneys say. It says they're being deprived of getting a fairly day in court. You don't get a fair day when it comes to your oppressor. Federal agents are arresting migrants in immigration court. In some cases, after the deportation cases have been dismissed, and Trump administration latest tactic to fast-track deportation. Immigrants attorneys told ABC News. The attorney said that the immigration enforcement officers have been waiting in immigration court buildings and arresting migrants who have their case dismissed, after which the migrants are placed into expedited removal proceeding the Department of Homeland Security. Gregory Zinn, the senior director of the Government Relations for America Immigration Lawyers Association, said his group has tracked such courthouse arrests in 13 states and 19 cities over the past 2 weeks. It says ICE deports 142 migrants to Mexico over a 2-week period. Right? They're being fast-tracked for deportation and now are going to be deprived of getting a fair day in court and a fair opportunity for their case to be heard, Zinn told ABC News. These kind of tactics are ultimately undermining people's sense of the court as a safe, neutral space that they could come and have a fair day in court. You will never have a fair day in your oppressor's court because your oppressor will never be fair with you. He will never give you your just due. You will never get your justice that you deserve under the devil. Deportation hearings and immigration courts are legal proceedings initiated by DHS, in which immigration judge determines whether the migrant should be removed from the United States. Often an immigration judge will dismiss the case in order to allow the individual to pursue legal relief by seeking asylum, according to attorneys. But right now, under the Trump administration, there ain't no asylum for you. There's none of that for you. What's for you is hell and oppression and destruction. Says other times, DHS attorneys will request dismissal if individuals are not a priority for removal. In most cases, when deportation case is dismissed, it is a positive outcome for a migrant, attorneys told ABC News. Dismissal used to generally be good news, said Michelle Brain, the executive director of immigration support group Together and Free. It means that the government has decided it's not worth pursuing your case, that you're going to be able to be free to pursue some other avenue. But immigration attorneys at ABC News spoke with and said Trump's administration is now using dismissals to detain people at immigration courts and place them in an expedited removal without allowing them to fight their case. It feels like it's plain dirty with people because they are not giving people a chance. You don't get no chance here in this hell. You don't get no chance under this administration. You don't get no chance under this government. ABC News has reached out to DHS, right? Priscilla Olivares, an attorney with the Immigrant Legal Resource Center in San Antonio, Texas, told ABC News she's witnessed several individuals being apprehended by immigration at the courthouse this past week. We saw a mother and one of her young children zip-tied, while her other children looked on, quite distressed and very emotional. This is what we have to witness. This is the hell. This is the curses that we are under. So it's clear that it's coordinated campaign of fear-mongering to put fear into immigrant communities to undermine the constitutional right to due process, she said. Several videos of migrants being detained after their cases were dismissed have gone viral on social media, and we're going to watch one. It says one couple was relieved that they had made it out of the hearing without being detained, but were still scanning the parking lot outside the courthouse, nervous that agents would approach them. You see this fear that's put into us? Well, while they try to put this fear in you, you need to build up your courage. You need to stand with the Most High. You need to stand with the men of God right here in the Israelite School of UPK and build yourself up. And let the Lord put a hedge around you so you don't have to walk out there with fear. It says the wife of one immigrant who attended the hearing said they were scared and nervous to come to court, but they wanted to follow the law. Listen to this. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It feels like none of us are safe, she said. Whether you do it the wrong way or the right way, they don't care. Because to them, you are the wrong person. You're the wrong everything. Well, let me close that. Let me get some scriptures and we'll watch a video. This is what they're doing to us right now. Bear with me. We're going to get 2 Maccabees 4 and 14. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 14. That the Salakia. All right. 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 14. That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar. Right? But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the all-lawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of this discus called them forth. See, that's where we're at now. We've been so beaten down, so downtrodden, so destroyed by these nations that we don't have any more courage. We don't have courage to fight. We don't have courage to serve the Most High. We don't have any courage because they are pumping fear through our people. They're pumping the fear through our people because they are destroying us. And that's why we need to be separate from them. We're supposed to be a separate and a special people. And we're not being that. Because we have so much fear. We have so much fear that the fight has been taken out of us. That we accept anything. And we are destroyed, downtrodden, stepped on, because we don't have any courage to serve. We're going to have to get that courage back. All right. Let me go to Deuteronomy. I'll show this video first. Then I'll break everything down.
Now at 10, ICE operations continue in San Antonio for a second day in a row. Agents are seen arresting migrants at immigration court.
And look at this scene on the northwest side. 3 people who appear to be part of a landscaping company. They were taken into custody in this parking lot of the shopping center. Tonight, KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna is following all.
And hold on. And what do they use? They use your own people. So much of a devil your oppressor is. It's going to use your own people to carry out the oppression.
These developments for us. Megan?
Well, Henry Easties, this is part of the Trump administration's push for mass deportations. We heard from two immigration attorneys who watched as their clients were taken into custody today after they showed up to their scheduled immigration hearings.
She don't want to die in Honduras. She doesn't want to die. They're sending these people to their death.
Crying out, "I don't want to die in Honduras," an emotional mother taken by ICE agents at immigration court Thursday. Another mother also placed in the same van. Her husband says she has no prior criminal history.
Mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo, dependen de nosotros.
But like most arrested, she had just had her case dismissed by a judge.
We were requesting a merits hearing, and the judge declined to set a merits hearing because DHS asked for the case to be dismissed and the client to be ordered removed, saying that it was not in the government's interest to hear a full case.
These videos shared to us show agents in the lobby of the immigration court waiting for migrants. One agent even holding what appears to be a list with pictures. Shortly after, you see agents escort an entire family into a charter bus. Where you see agents escort an entire be a list with pictures. Shortly after, you see agents escort an entire.
They have a list with pictures. You're already trialed. You're already trialed and judged before you get there. Because they have a list of pictures. And if your face is on that picture, good night.
Her family into a charter bus. ICE says these arrests are a part of the Trump administration's plans to reverse former President Biden's so-called catch and release program. They are now utilizing expedited removals. It allows.
Look at how they're locking them up. Look at how they're doing these people. They're treating these people like absolute criminals when they had did nothing wrong. But they pursued the pursuit of happiness. You said America is where all the immigrants could come and they could have a fair chance. That's what you said. And then they get here and there's no pursuit of happiness. It's just the damnation of sadness. It's just crushing your spirit more and more. While you have to go and your kids stay here. While they take you away. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Allows them to fast track deportations for people who have been in the country for less than 2 years.
No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
These arrests are evoking fear among people who have upcoming hearings. One attorney who's representing a man from Central Africa says the option for migrants to appear virtually for hearings appears to be gone. Her client also had his case.
They put that in for a bonus for y'all. So you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't think it's just you. You better understand. You better understand the fight that America has against the children of God.
Dismissed.
I feel like we portraying people who is here with credible fears. Just knowing his story, I feel like I let him down.
But ICE wasn't just at immigration court Thursday. Our cameras capturing agents and state troopers taking 3 undocumented migrants who appear to be landscapers into custody at a shopping center. ICE officials wouldn't tell us their nationalities or if they face any other criminal charges beyond entering the country illegally. Many migrants are fearful to show up to immigration court. However, if they don't, a judge could rule they be immediately deported. Easties.
See, You should look at this and you should be absolutely disgusted. You should be angry. This should vex your soul. And if it doesn't, it's because you're not wise. It's because you're dumb as hell. You're a dumbass American who's proud to be an American, who don't give a damn about the plights of God's chosen people, of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Ecclesiastes 7:7 says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Oh, this oppression makes me mad because I'm wise and I know what they're doing. It said, and that gift will destroy your heart. They give you these gifts to try to hide the oppression, and you love them for it. You thank them for it. Let me get Deuteronomy 7:6 or 7:1. Let me see. Let me just go right to it. This is what you need to know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people among himself, above all people on the face of the earth. You're not supposed to be under with them sending you through ICE and immigration. You're supposed to be above these bastards. You're supposed to be above all people on the earth. But the only way to do that is to be separate. And the only way to be separate is to come here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Right? It says, but because the Lord loved you. The Lord loves us. These people that are oppressed, that's getting looked at as garbage, just getting kicked out of the country, the Lord loves us because he would keep an oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, as the Lord brought you in the almighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of the king of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Well, there's going to be a time where the Lord is going to come and he's going to redeem you out of America, out of the kings of America, out of the kingdoms of America. And he's going to set you in your land, and he is going to make you oppress your oppressors. And that's the day that we're waiting for. And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Shalom.